Hello again, Scorpio. It's October 2020. Didici here. I'm looking at your horoscope now and seeing some very, very interesting things taking place for you, especially when we look at this Venus in your 10th house, and on the 2nd, the full moon, which is going to create a very nice aspect in conjunction with your ruler, which is retrograde right now. That has a strong flavor of career. Notice also that Venus immediately moves to the sign of Virgo at the outset of the month. That's not a very strong placement, and it also has a lot to do with your relationships, your marital relationships. Your partner may not be feeling particularly good or strong, even though the full moon near your retrograde Mars empowers you. So there's a bit of a, how could I call it, a bit of an asynchronicity between you and the person you love throughout this period. You just need to give them some space to do what they've got to do. Notice the moon transiting here in this 8th house of intimacy. Some worries there related to your intimate relationships, and a need for you to do some soul searching, especially in the early part of the month while the sun is still transiting through the sign of Libra, the 12th house, which is really the low-key part of the horoscope. You may be pulling back and wanting to have your own space. Your partner may be wanting to have their own space. And don't be worried about this retrograde Mars, which is your one of your significant rulers, because it empowers you. Here we see, or must keep an eye out around the 14th and 15th, in your sun sign, Mercury, going to go stationary and then retrograde. That's got some significant influence on the way you communicate, the way you do business, but more importantly, if we're on the topic of your relationships, the way you communicate in your most intimate and personal relationships, also shown by the moon, dark moon, making contact around the same time as the commencement of the retrograde Mercury with Venus, the ruler of your marital life. So important things are going on there. And the moon is a sensitive planet. It's an emotional planet. It's an intuitive planet. You can't solve your problems this month through any sort of jibber jab. You've just got to intuit and give your partner the space, take the space yourself. And this is about working on yourself. Notice the new moon here in your 12th house. This is a new cycle for spiritual seeking, spiritual development, an important transition there with the that brightening moon making contact with retrograde Mercury. So you're thinking about how you communicate. That's an important thing. A lot of people don't think about how they communicate. And speaking of communication, I think in the 3rd week of the month, that's going to become even clearer. It might not happen right at the outset of that new moon, but you notice here these 3 planets that had for many, many months been retrograde in your 3rd house of mental activity, thinking processes, communications, contracts, agreements. Here we see the bright moon making its contact with Jupiter, then Pluto, then Saturn. So that's an important weighting. Notice there for a moment it made a sudden impact to Uranus in the 7th house. It can be a bit of a breakthrough there, and when you least expect it as well. Also, the nice aspects here between Venus and these 3 forward-moving planets around the 23rd and 24th give you more confidence, as does the movement of the sun into your sun sign. So this is the beginning of a new solar year for you, taking place this month in the company of that retrograde Mercury. So you're feeling more confident, you're getting more energy within yourself, you're more dynamic, and that's also the start of a good career cycle for you. You see, the sun is ruling your 10th house, and there it is. Some unexpected events can happen when the sun is in contact, and that opposition is very tense with Uranus. Notice also Mercury, so retrograde it moves back into the previous sign of Libra. So there you also have simultaneously the transit of Venus, the planet of relationships, into this 12th house. So a lot hinging on that part of your life. And you'll notice that we talked about this 12th house being the area of the new moon this month signifying the opening out of your intuitive and spiritual self, but that's also going to apply to your partner. So I think both of you are going through some sort of inner transformation, and it's important for both of you, if you're in a relationship, for both of you to respect that in each other. If you're not actually in a relationship, it shows that you will be definitely shifting your, I guess, criteria for what sort of person you're looking for in your life. And that would mean someone that's more sensitive, intuitive, in tune with your spiritual needs at this time in your life. And that can only be a good thing. I look forward to talking to you next month because it's an important one. Again, almost another full moon at the very close of October, which signifies great things. It's an important planet for you, a positive planet. And the last day of the month is very much connected to your work, the environment that you work in. And another last thing, your health. Important to bring back the workload, enjoy your life a little bit, make time for recreation and hobbies, and just a simple thing, make time for nothing. To do nothing is a good thing too. Don't forget, join me at astrology.com.au. We've got the daily, weekly, monthly, yearly readings now there. We've got the 4 of them there to help give you more insight into what's going on here in the month of October and beyond. And you're welcome to drop me a line. You're definitely welcome to subscribe. I'd love you to subscribe and to keep in touch with me. I do want to thank you all too for your kind words in the last couple of months through my difficult transit. Even astrologers have difficult transit. I look forward to your company next month. Stay safe. Bye-bye.